Neilville Foodies, and we're back again with another video tutorial. And before you do anything, I need you to stop what you're doing and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button right now. You do not want to miss what is coming out of Neilville, honey. And today we are finna do something smackalicious. We are going to do some Philly cheesesteak sliders. And for our ingredients, we have some sirloin steak from, I think we got that from Walmart. We got our onions, our pepper, our salt, our green peppers, slap your mama seasoning, some adobo seasoning. We also have some Hawaiian roll sliders. We have parsley and minced garlic. I did forget to mention what type of cheese that I am going to be using. I'm doing a shredded mozzarella and provolone, and I'm also doing smoked provolone slices, but you guys will see that when we get to that. And so the first thing I want to do is cut up my peppers and onions, and we decided to cut up these peppers in bite-sized pieces because these are sliders, and you can cut them bigger if you want, but I'm also feeding some children, so I want them to eat their veggies. So we try to hide them as much as possible. And so now we're getting our onions cut up in bite-sized pieces. And then after we do that, we're getting ready to saute our onions and peppers. We put about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in the pan. And guys, you want to just cook your onions and peppers till they get soft. Now, how crunchy you want them on your sandwich is up to you. I like them soft. Another reason I like them soft, just my preference, just besides it being my preference, because anytime you're feeding kids, you can hide it when it's soft. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of had an impromptu play date. And so we decided that we were going to make some sliders. And so I'm trying to prepare them to where the kids will eat them also. And so we added our salt and pepper to our onions and peppers. And now we're adding about a tablespoon of garlic. And guys, we're getting that mixed around. And we want to cook this until the onions are translucent. And then what we want to do next, we want to start adding our steak. And I love these little steaks because they're so quick to cook. They only take a couple of minutes on each side. And it is, I think it's 4 that comes in each pack. They're about 3 ounces, 3¼ ounce, each one of those. I did end up using 2 packs and all 8 of them. Because we're end up doing 18 sliders. And how we end up with 18, I planned on doing 12, but my husband ate 3 of the rolls yesterday, and so I had to go back to the store and get another pack. So I said, you know what, we're just gonna do all 18. So we cooked all 8 of those meats. We added it to our onions and peppers. We added our slap your mama seasoning, and now I'm adding the adobo seasoning. And what you basically want to do, guys, is just let this cook for a couple of minutes on each side. Once it cook on one side, I'm also adding my Worcestershire sauce. And once you let this cook on one side, you will see that it'll start to get soft, and you'll be able to break it up as you see as I'm doing now with the spatula, and just kind of breaking it up and start turning it over. And guys, you just want to let this cook, like I said, for about 2 minutes on each side, and get all of your onions, your peppers, your garlic, everything incorporated in. And while this is cooking, guys, we're getting ready to start working on our rolls. Now, I will say that trying to cut these rolls was harder than it looked. And it probably looked like I was struggling, and I was. But that's okay, because thank God for edit on your phone. And so what we did, because these rolls are not already pulled apart, when we took them out of the bag, we just got a knife a serrated, I think they call it serrated. Y'all, I'm country, okay? It's the knife with the grooves, okay? And so I took that knife and I went through on each side down the middle. I went through on each side down the middle to open up these buns. And I did these buns, and I also did the pack that was not open. And we had 18 buns for our sliders. And so now what we've done, we've got them in our pan, and we're adding mayo. Now you don't have to do this, but guys, this is a trick. It's not just about taste, but the mayo is going to help these buns not get soggy at the bottom, because you know, with the onions and the peppers and the steak, you know, it can be kind of juicy, and you want your buns to be crispy. I don't like soggy bread. So the buns actually help as a sealant to keep that liquid from sogging out that bottom piece of bread. And then, as you see, this is the sliced smoked provolone that I'll be using, and this is also the provolone and mozzarella blend. Now, this shredded cheese is also going to help with capturing the liquid from the meat and the veggies. And so you want to take your cheese, your shredded cheese, and you want to put a layer on top of your mayo. And guys, I promise you, even if you don't like mayo, you won't even really taste it because of the cheese. So, but if you don't like soggy bread, guys, I promise you, this is a good trick you can do with putting the mayo and then the shredded cheese. And now that our veggies and meat is done, we're just layering that on top of our bread. And you want to just make sure that your meat is evenly spread out. And this is 12 pieces. And guys, this pan, I had a long pan, and it perfectly fit those 18 sliders and those 12 pieces of cheese. From the provolone was perfect. Like, everything just kind of worked out perfect. So it was like one pack of the Hawaiian rolls and then 3/4 of another pack, which equal 18 sliders. The cheese fit perfect. And so what I'm doing, I'm just putting all of the provolone slices on top. And then I'm also going to add some more shredded cheese to those gaps in between, because you want the whole top bread to be nothing but cheese. When you pull this apart, it'll be ooey gooey and stringy. So next we're taking, like I said, we're taking our shredded cheese and we're putting that in between those slices of provolone, because we don't want any meat showing. We want nothing but a layer of cheese. And then once we do that, we're going to just lay the tops back on of our sliders. And your oven needs to be preheated for 350 degrees. 350 degrees. And then we'll put this in the oven for about, I did mine for about 12 minutes. So I'll say 10 to 15 minutes. After about 10 minutes, just kind of keep an eye on it, because you don't want your top bread to be burnt. But yeah, I think about 12 to 15 minutes was perfect. And so now we're going to get this in the oven. And so, and as you see, I'm just kind of showing y'all a side view of what it looks like. And while we're working, while that's in the oven, we're going to work on a garlic butter sauce that we're going to put on top. And we just did a half a stick of butter, about a tablespoon of parsley, and we did about a teaspoon of garlic. And we just let that melt, guys. We just let it melt while everything was in the oven. And once it came out the oven, of course, as you see, that's our finished product when the butter's melted and everything is incorporated. And so we just took a brush and we brushed the garlic butter on top of the buns. And guys, this is pretty much it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. But guys, I still want to show you the finished product. And I also want to let the kids be the taste tester to let you know if they liked it or not. So, of course, after you spray all your butter, after you put all your butter on top, I'm going to pull this apart. And guys, I promise you, this was so fire. Do you hear me? And because, you know, it's we having a little impromptu play date with kids, it was enough. Y'all, look at that stringy cheese. Look at that. And I had to take a bite. Y'all, I had to take a bite. Y'all, it was fire. Do you hear me? Fire. But let me let the kids show you.
Try to get it.
Y'all know.
Ooh. It's good.
It's good.
Real good.
It's spicy.
Hallelujah. Mwah.
Killing me.
I think one of the bad. Hey guys, I want to sit down.
Okay, you can sit down.